Tonight on Cronkite News, spring training is almost here. A closer look at what fans can expect on opening day of the Cactus League.
It's a great honor. It's a great honor, and I appreciate it very much.
Plus, a legendary coach for ASU softball returns to the diamond for a tournament in her honor.
And a debate over an Arizona bill that could impact how people interfere with police when they're making an arrest. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Grace Johnson.
And I'm Dane Palmer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Opening day for Cactus League play is less than 24 hours away, and one team to look out for this spring training are the reigning NL Central champions, Milwaukee Brewers. Yeah,
our very own Luke Carter has more from American Family Fields of Phoenix.
The Brewers secured the best record in the MLB last season in the regular season, winning 97 games, defeating their rival Chicago Cubs in the divisional series before falling to the Dodgers in the NLCS. This year, they'll look to get over the hump, and to do so, they're going to look for another breakout campaign from the 23-year-old flamethrower, Jacob Misiorowski, who looks to build on his rookie season in which he earned an All-Star Game nod. The Brewers are notoriously excellent at developing pitching talent despite consistently being in the bottom third of payrolls in the MLB. The Brewers ranked second in the MLB in team ERA in 2025 and look to continue that success starting in spring training this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see and be around. I mean, you have young guys that come through here and are just, trade or acquired over free agency or something like that, and they just blossom and turn into these all-stars that are crazy, so it's really cool to see.
The Brewers will begin Cactus League play here on Saturday at 1:10 p.m. against the Cleveland Guardians at America's Family Fields of Phoenix. In Phoenix, Luke Carter, Cronkite News.
Thanks so much, Luke. Meanwhile, in Scottsdale, the Diamondbacks have their Cactus League opener against the Colorado Rockies tomorrow.
Yeah, fans finally going to get their first look at the D-backs at Salt River Fields with an afternoon first pitch at 1:10. Today, players focused on field work, including Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who was seen practicing with hopes of being ready for opening day. The left fielder is back after surgery to repair his right ACL, and young fans are eagerly awaiting the first pitch less than 24 hours away. Players as well are ready to compete.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things you miss the most, in those 5 months off is just being competitive. You try to stay competitive in other things in the off season, but ready to get back to the baseball side of things.
And it was chilly for spring training practice today. Will that continue? Our Matthew Pierce has the latest on the weather and what to expect while attending one of the 4 games tomorrow afternoon. Matthew?
Spring baseball is less than 24 hours away here in the Cactus League in Arizona. We're going to see some different weather to start than what we're normally used to. Obviously, the warm weather is the standard. Going into tomorrow, though, in the afternoon when games will begin, we're looking at 59 degrees with clear skies before getting up to 62 degrees around 4 p.m. with some cloud coverage expected to roll in. For more information about what to expect for the weather, stick around for later in the show.
Sun Devil softball hosted the Littlewood Invitational over the weekend, a celebration of one of the biggest names in ASU women's sports.
Yeah, Grace, to check this out, Cronkite News reporter Eric Matsumoto was at Farrington Stadium to learn what this weekend meant for Mary Littlewood and the team.
Mary Littlewood was the head coach for Arizona State softball for over 20 years and oversaw the program's shift from a club sport to Division I. Last weekend, she got to see what the program looks like now as she attended the annual tournament the Sun Devils host in her honor.
It's a great honor. It's a great honor, and I appreciate it very much. All the teams have gotten so much better. Volleyball, basketball, softball, all the team sports teams. It's gratifying to know that, and to know that I was part of that.
As head coach, Littlewood led the Sun Devils to 9 College World Series appearances and back-to-back national championships in 1972 and 1973. She was inducted into the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 1995, and the impact she had on softball and women's sports at ASU is still recognized by players and coaches today.
Just so grateful to her and that generation of women. From the bottom of my heart, because we don't get to do what we do today at this level in this beautiful stadium with all the resources we have without them.
The tournament was a celebration of Littlewood. She threw out the first pitch before the Sun Devils' opening game and was able to talk with players and coaches.
Honestly, it was really special. It was really fun to watch her come out here and show some support. So I think we did a good job of honoring her with a good weekend.
The Sun Devils put on a show throughout the Invitational, winning all 6 of their games and outscoring their opponents 62-25. In Tempe, Eric Matsumoto, Cronkite News.
The Sun Devils' performance earned them a bump in their rankings, Dane.
Yeah, team now stands at 21st and 22nd in the USA Softball and NFCA polls, respectively.
Now, Dane, we've got to talk about the University of Arizona.
Yeah, after a little rough patch there, men's basketball seems to finally be back on track.
Last night, U of A defeated BYU 75-68. The Wildcats seem to be bouncing back after losing their last 2 games back-to-back. Arizona is currently ranked #1 in the Big 12 division and 4th overall. Coming up next, a unique club is gaining traction at GCU.
Yeah, an archery club is among the many student-led programs and is looking to expand their skills.
It's amazing to see a guy hit 5 X's.
GCU Archery looks to grow their club and how they are preparing for competition, coming up on Cronkite News.
The Arizona Cardinals named Mike LaFleur their new head coach just 2 weeks ago. And he's brought on Nathaniel Hackett from the Packers to be his offensive coordinator since then.
Yeah, he also brought in a new special teams coordinator, Michael Gobriel from the Giants. Our Gabby Chernoff has more on how the new faces are adjusting to the Valley.
The Arizona Cardinals' 3 new coaching hires have history in some pretty cold places, different to the desert climate, which is new to them all. They're getting acquainted here in the Valley, and there's a certain famous West Coast staple that's helping to ease that transition.
In-N-Out has been a favorite of mine, so that's something I haven't been able to get on the East Coast. And what's funny is, like, on away games, you have a little bit of time to be able to go get dinner, and whenever there was a place that had In-N-Out, that happened to be one of my spots.
You just walk out and you see people in shorts and T-shirts and smiles, and you're like, this is awesome. and it has been incredible. I mean, just to be able to walk outside, even open up the door. I mean, Mike opens up the door to his office. I'm like, I hear birds.
Well, these birds will train in Arizona's year-round warm weather, hoping to clear the clouds of last season's 3-14 record and restore the sunshine to the Red Sea. In Tempe, Gabby Chernoff, Cronkite News.
Yeah, both Hackett and Gabriel are from California and return to their West Coast roots as the Cardinals look to improve from their losing ways.
The MLB Players Association has elected a new leader. Bruce Meyer will take the reins as interim executive director just days after Tony Clark's abrupt resignation. The unanimous vote came in Wednesday to move Meyer up. He steps in at a tough time for the MLBPA. Previous director Clark resigned earlier this week after an outside firm discovered he had an inappropriate relationship, according to ESPN. Baseball is also headed toward a possible labor stoppage after this upcoming season. And at Grand Canyon University, competition takes a different aim. The club archery team encourages athletes of all kinds to take a shot at the emerging sport. Cronkite News reporter Heaven Cook has more on the club that started just 6 years ago.
The GCU club archery team takes aim at their season as they target their competition in Las Vegas approaches them soon.
Just seeing all the pros come out, because it's amazing to see a guy hit 5 X's over and over and over, and they have to battle just by hitting the X instead of just the 10.
The club started about 6 years ago and has seen a lot of growth, which started out as a place for serious archers to practice their craft.
It was kind of a group of very more experienced archers that saw that there wasn't anything. They didn't have an archery team and wanted kind of a place to do archery, and so they decided that ultimately that they would make a team, and so they got together with the club sports and made it happen.
Team leader Michaela Dickey is one of the veterans and more experienced shooters, scoring as high as 294 out of 300 in competitions. Dickey says GCU isn't about individual talent. However, it focuses on a sense of community for students who have a common interest in archery.
We don't do tryouts necessarily, they just choose to join. So it's less about picking who's on the team and more about cultivating a community.
Their inclusivity extends to beginners who haven't competed in archery, as Dickey generously offered to teach a rookie like me. For less experienced archers, the mentorship is key.
I'm personally very new to this team, so I have not yet done competition. My first competition will be in about a week or so. So we're just trying to get down on our routine and make sure that we can do the best that we can and not leave the line with regrets.
Patience and knowing how to become very still. That's the 2 things that really help you get farther in archery.
As the season gets started, these archers are hoping to hit the bullseye and not just victories, but having fun. In Phoenix, Heaven Cook, Cronkite News.
The GCU archery team is now gearing up to head to Vegas Shoot 2026, the largest indoor archery tournament in the world. The competition begins March 27th.
Now on to the Olympics, where U.S. skier Michaela Schifrin captured gold in the women's slalom. People across the country are celebrating her victory, especially folks in East Burke, Vermont. She has history there, attending the Burke Mountain Academy. Schifrin won her first gold medal for alpine skiing in 2014. She went on to win another gold and a silver in 2018. Yesterday, the 30-year-old made history. Schifrin is now the first American skier to win 3 alpine gold medals. Her success is inspiring the local skiing community, and Burke, who says she still visits every now and then, always with a smile and a friendly face.
I think it's pretty cool to be in the same place as her and having the same experiences and learning from the same people as her.
We've seen her do it before, but to do under that high of pressure is something to look up to for sure.
I think it's really special, and it's shows where we can go from here.
Heading to the Innings Festival or a spring training game this week, you might need some sunscreen.
Yeah, our very own Matthew Pierce joins us from spring training home of the Brewers in Maryvale with our forecast.
If we go ahead and take a look at today's evening planner, temperature starting at 6 p.m., 61 degrees, trickling all the way down to 56 degrees at 10 p.m., which is going to give nice nightly conditions here in Phoenix. We're going to see clouds come in at around 8 p.m. and stick around throughout the rest of the evening, so you expect to see clouded skies. If we go ahead and take a look at the low temperatures across the state of Arizona, Grand Canyon and Flagstaff, we're going to get as low as 4 degrees, which is freezing. So make sure you grab a jacket or two and bundle up if you're going outside in the nighttime. Phoenix and Tucson, we're going to see Phoenix at 45, Tucson 38, as low as they're going to get. And the regions surrounding are going to hover around these temperatures as well. Now, if we go ahead and move along to the high temps, Grand Canyon and Flagstaff, we're going to see them get right above freezing at 33 degrees. So still, even if you're going out throughout the day, make sure you grab that jacket, once again, maybe even 2. Now, if we go ahead and look at the southern region, we're going to see temperatures between 60 and 65 degrees, with Yuma getting as hot as 66, giving nice weather to get outside, enjoy some sunshine before we see cloud coverage next week. Speaking of, let's go ahead and take a look at the 8-day forecast. We're going to slowly, over the next 8 days, break into the 80s, which is going to give nice warm weather, and we're going to use that 80 degrees as a benchmark, getting as hot as 89 later next week. If we take a look at the lows, they're going to do a similar thing, with lows getting as up to the 60s and hovering above that 60 mark as the week progresses. Now we're going to see that big jump come Saturday to Sunday, Saturday 72, Sunday 82, big 10-degree jump. And beyond that, we're going to see cloud coverage come on Sunday and expect to stick throughout the week. From the Weather Center, I'm Matthew Pierce.
Spring training is stirring up lots of excitement here in the Valley, but I have to say, Dane, this chilly air is really making me miss that Arizona fall football weather.
Yeah, I hear you, Grace, but ASU football is stirring up some excitement of their own on a new training facility slated to open for the 2027 season. Head coach Kenny Dillingham says an 8-figure donor has stepped in to help fund a new practice facility for the Sun Devils football program. The new facility will be much closer than the current Verde Dickey Dome and will act as a tailgating hub for fans on game day.
In the right direction. That got approved for the indoor. It's going to be one of the largest indoors in the country. It's about 180 to 190 yard indoor facility, which is going to be unbelievable for the football team and for the tailgating and the fun.
The 8-figure donor has yet to be revealed, but ASU says they have close ties to the university.
And coming up next, a look at the news headlines from around the country and the world, including the arrest of a former prince.
Good afternoon, Your What's your reaction to your brother's arrest, sir?
Find out more about the arrest of a former Prince Andrews coming up tonight on Cronkite News.
Welcome to the Cronkite News Report. I'm Izzy Ledlow with a look at tonight's news headlines. Heated debate at the state capitol, all over a bill that could change what happens when police move in and someone decides to speak up. Cronkite News reporter Emily Fox-Millian takes us inside that debate.
A packed Senate hearing room. Standing room only at the state capitol as protesters plan to debate the proposed unlawful alert bill.
What my bill makes illegal is, with an intent that somebody evade arrest, when an arrest is imminent, warning that person so they can get away from the police.
State Senator John Kavanaugh sponsored SB 1635, which would make it illegal to tip someone off before an arrest. Supporters say the bill would keep people from interfering with police, but opponents say that it could punish speech.
SB 1635 is an anti-civil liberties bill.
This bill is neither narrowly tailored, nor does it target violent conduct or obstruction. It targets speech.
Protesters believe this comes as backlash after State Senator Annalise Ortiz shared social media posts warning about ICE agents in her community.
Under this bill, people can face criminal charges for sharing real-time information about law enforcement activity, information that is not doxing, but often shared for safety, accountability, or to ensure that people know their rights.
But Kavanaugh said it would not make posts like Ortiz's illegal.
Putting a text message out, ICE is in the area, blowing whistles, ICE is in the area. None of that behavior is made illegal by this bill. That is First Amendment protected speech.
The bill does say communication can include a gesture, verbal statements, or bells and whistles, but Kavanaugh was clear it would only apply when an arrest was imminent. Still, those in the room said the bill is too broad. In Phoenix, Emily Fox-Millian, Cronkite News.
The committee is expected to vote on this bill and several others related to immigration enforcement tomorrow morning. We are just 2 months into the new year, and the CDC has already confirmed a total of 910 measles cases so far. 32 of those cases come from Arizona. Health officials say that receiving the vaccine against measles will significantly lower the risk of being infected.
Measles is incredibly scary in the sense that it is so contagious. So if you haven't been protected with a vaccine, you are very likely to get infected.
Dr. Nozel says that the vaccine will not be 100% effective in preventing the disease. The CDC says even if you are fully vaccinated, about 3 in 100 people can still get measles if they were exposed. Taking a look at international news, tensions are rising between the U.S. and Iran as U.S. military officials say they are prepared for a possible strike against Iran. The U.S. has started to build up its military forces near the country. Iran's nuclear program is one of the main reasons behind the tensions. President Trump says he hopes to reach a deal that will have the Middle Eastern country agree to cut back on the missile program. But Iran has refused to discuss the demands.
And we do have some work to do with Iran. They can't have a nuclear weapon. They cannot continue to threaten the stability of the entire region, and they must make a deal.
Adding to the tensions, Iran held its annual military drill with Russia earlier today. The former prince, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, was arrested and released earlier tonight, and his brother, King Charles, was asked about it by a swarm of reporters.
Good afternoon, Your Majesty. What's your reaction to your brother's arrest, sir? Your brother, sir. Sir, what's your reaction to your brother's arrest?
Mountbatten Windsor was arrested on his 66th birthday in relation to the Jeffrey investigation. Local police say he was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, a charge that carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. In 2025, King Charles stripped Windsor of his titles because of his connection to Epstein, though he has denied any and all wrongdoing. And back in this country, a big change coming to our national parks. The U.S. Park Service says no reservations will be required for some of the most popular parks this summer. Visitors to Arches, Yosemite, and Glacier National Parks will no longer need a reservation. Instead, some of the parks will rely on parking limits and shuttles to deal with big crowds. Some advocacy groups are worried about the changes, fearing it could put additional strain on staff. The Park Service says the change is meant to expand public access. No changes were announced for the parks in our state, including the Grand Canyon. That's it for tonight's Cronkite News Report. I'm Izzy Ludlow. Thank you for joining us. Now, back to Grace and Dane.
Coming up next, the unexpected but heartwarming surprise seen at yesterday's Winter Olympics.
Yeah, things took a turn when a dog came out and started running with competitors. Stay tuned to find out which event received this out-of-the-blue canine cameo.
People have always had trouble trying to put me into a box. A professor, suit, and tie is just not me. Without the ocean, I don't know what I would do. You know, the ocean's always been there for me. As Hawaiian people, we believe that the coral is the first living being to come out of the darkness. It's the foundation of our entire lifestyle, and that's what my research is about. What we do is we take photographs of the reef over long periods of time to create models that can tell us what the planet is doing. If we go deaf to what the Earth is telling us, then we'll never be able to live in harmony. If I can get my students excited about protecting the ocean, then they're the ones who are gonna really make the difference. I hope my students realize that I'm not trying to prepare them for something in the distant future. Their time is now at Arizona State University.
Innovation at the Walter Cronkite School is pushing the boundaries of traditional journalism.
Storytelling has evolved over the years. This is part of that evolution.
Students in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Lab are using emerging technology to create scenes in augmented and virtual reality, coding playable games, and bringing the audience into the story.
They're only limited by their imagination and their willingness to learn.
Find out more at cronkite.asu.edu.
Welcome back. And Dane, we've got to check out this furry surprise.
Yeah, Grace, it looks like Snoop Dogg isn't the only dog crashing the Winter Olympics this year. At the end of Wednesday's women's cross-country skiing qualifying event, a dog came out of nowhere and joined the competitors as they crossed the finish line. His appearance delighted fans, and the racers say they weren't bothered one bit.
That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Grace Johnson.
And I'm Dane Palmer. Thank you so much for joining us.